How we doing? This is Achilles. I'm going to do some reading today, so I'm not going to wear my helmet. But just in case you haven't seen this video, I'm portraying Achilles, who was the greatest warrior that the world has ever known. And I use Achilles in my videos because I feel as though he was the epitome of independence, and I am an independent. I hold no political loyalties whatsoever. I believe in our founding fathers, and our rights are being stripped away from us slowly. It's not happening all at once, because if you look back in history, never has anybody's rights happened all at once, except in war. Never have their rights been stripped all at once. Just like in Germany and Russia, it was incrementalism. Actually Russia was communism, but in Germany it was incrementalism. Okay, and that's what they've been doing in this country, and I believe that they've reached the end point here. Let me read some things to you real quickly. This is from Thomas Jefferson. See, our founding fathers wrote the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence not only for our rights, but as a guideline and a structure for government and people, and the power over government by the people. And they wanted government to remain small as possible, so they really only had a few things that they were responsible for. And if you read the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, and I believe everybody should, especially now, you've got to know what's going on, what they're changing. If you don't know the Constitution, you won't understand what they're changing. You won't see the things that are crystal clear to anybody who's read it. They're doing, this is all wrong. And if, seriously, if you, because you have a Constitution, and if our leaders, our judges and our military would do what they're supposed to do, these people could be tried and convicted of treason, and that is not a lie. That is plain reality. Because our Constitution is written. Everything that they're doing is against it. It's against the Constitution. They took an oath. To go against the Constitution of the United States of America is treason. Do you understand? And they warned us in their writings, the Federalist Papers, read them. Robert Welch, Republics and Democracies. I recommend you read these things. We're losing our country. Alright, I wanted to talk about this, some of the things that Thomas Jefferson had written down. A wise and frugal government leave men free to regulate their own pursuits of industry and improvement, and shall not take from the mouth of labor the bread it has earned. This is the sum of good government. Okay, what that means is you don't take from the businesses, you don't take from the people. You give them low taxes. Low taxes. Low taxes for businesses would mean no outsourcing. They wouldn't have to go to another country. See, in a capitalist country, businesses are here to make money. They create to make money. They're not here to employ people. They're here to make money. And what you do is to get them to employ, you cut their taxes so they can grow and employ. If you burden them with taxes, you burden them with unions, they will leave the country, because that's what a capitalist country does. So why would you raise their taxes, create monstrous unions, if you want to employ the people? No. You would do all these things if you wanted to drive them away and convince the people that they abandoned them. Do you understand? It's to create a reformation for their revolution. It's happening right now in front of your face. And less regulation. I understand that there needs to be some regulation. Everybody understands that. But the regulation of insurance, that's why this healthcare plan is going. Because they've regulated the insurance companies in such a way that the insurance companies no longer have to compete against all of insurance companies. They merely have to compete against a few in their own states. And what that does is it takes away your right to get insurance from whoever you want to. You should be able, by right, to buy insurance from another state, if you so choose. They have regulated against you. And nobody talks about it that way. They say that, oh, they've regulated the insurance companies. No. They've taken away your freedom to get insurance any way you want. Do you understand? And that's what keeps prices high. There's no competition. There's no competition. You understand? No real competition. And the next one I wanted to talk about was educate and inform the whole mass of the people. They are the only sure reliance for the preservation of our liberty. See, the progressives understood that. And back in the 60s, when they were railing against the industrial complex and railing against the Vietnam War, they realized they didn't have the Reformation, they didn't have enough people on their side to change the conservative ways. So what they did is they put down their signs and they went back into the schools. They took over the colleges. They taught the teachers how to teach progressive things, to nudge and persuade people into socialistic views for social justice. These are the things, and then they moved into the schools and they've been indoctrinating your children to hate capitalism, to think capitalism is evil. You know, to think our Constitution is nothing but a piece of paper and that it's a living, breathing organism that should evolve. No! The Constitution is simply a framework that limits government. That's what it is. And they hate it. They hate it. They must change it. And that's how you do it. You implement a democracy and you convince the people, because this is a republic, you implement a democracy and you convince the people that the Constitution no longer works, and then they can rewrite it. My God, people, it does not take a brain surgeon or a rocket scientist to see this type of stuff. All tyranny needs to gain a foothold is for people of good conscience to remain silent. That is why I'm speaking. That is why many like me are speaking out. To try to inform the American people that guess what? You're losing your freedoms and you don't even know it. You don't even know it. The mainstream media is complicit. They're going along with this. The liberal media. Saul Alinsky calls these people do-gooders because they've fallen into the social trap. The do-gooders trap. They are the do-gooders. And the next one, this is just the end. In the Declaration of Independence, it says that if your government moves away from the Constitution and Declaration of Independence, it is not only your right, but your obligation to remove them and install our own government. Do you understand that? They're moving away from our Constitution and implemented a democracy which will end up in dictatorship, tyranny. We must stop them before they get too powerful. And they are. You know, Cass Sunstein is working out a way to regulate firearms so that you won't be able to afford or be able to get. You'll be able to buy them, but they'll be so heavily regulated it won't be worth it. They'll be so expensive you won't be able to afford it. You understand? Time to wake up, people.